podcast with your hosts, Tyler Phillips and Bruce Troncoso.
Tobias Harris to the Philadelphia 76ers and Marc Gasol to the Toronto Raptors. And AD was not traded. Despite all that drama, despite all the buildup, we were disappointed. But, I mean, we got a fairly eventful trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, a guy also got traded mid-game. Don't forget that. So we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Which we are recording this right after the trade deadline on Thursday.
Yeah, like literally like an hour after.
This is a little bit of instant reaction. A lot of trades went down last night, though.
Yeah, there was a lot today, though, during the day. Like when I was in class. Let's open up with the Sixers. Open up with Philly.
Gosh.
So, yeah, the Philadelphia receiver... Philadelphia 76ers.
They received Boban!
They received Boban.
That's all they needed.
Now they got
also some trash player named Tobias Harris.
They got Tobias Harris, you know. Philly just got, like, a big four going right now. Are they the best?
Why is Harris isn't part of a big four?
Yes,
Since
he
when
is.
is Harris such a good player?
Since always. He's been
Last
underrated.
time I checked, he was like an 80 overall in 2K, which I'm basing this all off of 2K. But, like, it's just funny, like, all of a sudden, everybody's like, I really want Tobias Harris. And I go, why? And they go, he's really good. I go, how good? They go, 4 picks worth good.
He's worth 4 picks. What can I
And
say?
I go, what? 4?
Everyone's sleeping on him because he's played for the Clippers. And I think before that he played for, like, the Magic. So no one really knows how good Harris is.
Wasn't he part of Detroit?
He played for Detroit as well, yeah.
Yeah, so
a bunch of teams that really no one cares about.
That's true. I guess I just never...
Now we're putting him on Philly.
Yeah.
You like this trade for Philly?
Yeah, I mean,
love it.
Yeah, like you said, they needed a spot-up shooter because Simmons
can't,
shoot.
and they're replacing Wilson Chandler with this guy, Tobias, so that's a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, it's only makes him better, I feel like, for Philly.
Well, and what's cool about Philly is, like over the offseason, LeBron didn't even meet with them. They can't. It seems like they can't really sign big free agents for whatever reason. So you know what they did this year? They're like, yeah, we're gonna take 2 expiring contracts with Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris, and we're gonna try to keep them on the team next year. They're going that route. They're like, people don't want to sign with us, so we're gonna get them in house, and then we're gonna sign them over the offseason.
Which isn't a bad idea. I think they're gonna re-sign Tobias Harris, but you think they re-sign?
Well, right after this trade went through, like Bleacher Report was all like, oh, the Philadelphia 76ers are trying to keep the Big Four together. That's what they're being called now, the Big Four.
Why? It's not a Big Four. Like,
it should be a Big Five. JJ Redick is a Big Five.
Okay. Yeah, it's a 4. It's a good core. I'm not debating that. I just big? How big?
It's pretty big, dude.
Championship winning big? Warriors. They're not Warriors
in the Eastern. Yeah, that's what's funny. Like, I saw all these Warriors fans are like, wow, Warriors may be winning 5 now, not 4. It's not a clean sweep from the Warriors. Maybe they win in 5. Yeah, it's a Big 4 only because they play in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, well,
honestly.
There's no question that they've been dominating. They're going to continue to dominate.
Yeah, I think now they're probably going to... right now, the top 3 teams, I think right now is Bucks, 1, 2 Raptors, and 3 is the Sixers.
Yeah, and that's how it's going to go.
I don't know, maybe Sixers make a run.
Those are hard teams, though. When do you want to get to Toronto?
Oh, yeah, we can hop in. Yeah, let's go hop in Toronto right now then, yeah.
Okay.
So, Marc Gasol was traded to the Toronto Raptors. Who was it for?
For Valanciunas, DeLon Wright,
and CJ Miles.
CJ Miles in a 2024 second round pick.
Second round pick.
That's a long. These picks are crazy. 2024. How far in advance can you trade? Because I know in NHL you can only trade 3 years.
Well,
in
that's like
advance.
5. That's 5 years in advance. I really don't know. Maybe it's 5.
Who knows what that pick's gonna be in 2024?
It's a second rounder anyway, so who knows what that would be if it was this year? Right?
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't like.
They're looking more at the players.
It's good for both teams. I mean, they get. The Toronto keeps improving. I mean, they improve. That's an improvement over Valanciunas, I think.
Dude, yeah, that starting 5 is now a lot better.
Yeah.
Lowry, like you replacing him with.
Well, because Kawhi Leonard's better than DeMar DeRozan. There's an upgrade there.
You still have Kyle Lowry. Now you have Gasol, another scorer, and then Ibaka's been playing out of his mind. Or is it Siakam right now? I don't know which one it is, but they've both been playing very well.
I don't know. Yeah, they got good big men, which is kind of rare.
And the Grizzlies did what they wanted. They just want to get rid of them. It's
Yeah.
like we're rebuilding. Bye.
Yeah, except they didn't trade Conley, but we'll get into that later. Everybody was frustrated about the return, but I don't know if Gasol really yields that big of a return. And I think DeLon Wright has a bigger.
Well, is Gasol on a max right now?
Isn't he expiring?
He's probably expiring, but that's the thing. Like,
He's getting paid a lot of money, but
that's probably why they got to give up that many players.
Yeah,
just to match the money
because I
coming
think
out.
CJ Miles making a decent amount of money.
So Toronto had to make space to take on.
Yeah, and they don't need Valanciunas anymore if they got Gobert. And Valanciunas is a good center. I think Grizzlies got a little bit in him that they maybe can use. I don't know how much they want to hang on to him. And I think DeLon Wright has a bigger ceiling than I think more people will give him credit for, or more than he's shown. And I'm not just saying that because he's from Utah. I think he's got good potential. I just think he needs a better role, and a bigger role. I feel like, and I think he's gonna get that in Memphis.
A bigger role. That's what DeLon Wright needs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how many minutes he was playing in.
Yeah, he's a bench player.
I think because they're getting rid of Conley soon, you would assume, or they'll probably try this offseason, something like that. So they want somebody. I think they're just wanting to stockpile point guard prospects to kind of bring along and bring up into the system when they no longer have Conley. So I don't mind it for Grizzlies. So who do you want to talk about next?
Well, we could talk about the Grizzlies. Talk about how they didn't get rid of Conley.
Yeah,
there was a lot of hype around this thing.
There was a lot.
Even the Raptors were in on that too. I was hearing stuff like getting rid of Lowry for Conley.
Because isn't Lowry on an expiring deal?
I have no idea. I just know that would have been an upgrade for them because I think Conley's better.
Well, we'll talk about the Jazz later, but I saw a rumor that because Conley's really good friends with who's the coach of the Jazz?
Quinn Snyder,
not Dan. Quinn Snyder. Thank you. I'm blinking out right now, but he's really good friends with him. Apparently, he really likes Utah. So I saw he might be coming to the Jazz next summer, and they're going to replace him with Rubio, which he's an improvement over Rubio.
But I also got the alert the other night saying that he, according to his agent, he doesn't want to go to Salt Lake City.
Conley.
So okay, it's weird. Because it said he prefers the Eastern Conference team. That's what it said.
Right, which everybody does because there's more space in the Eastern Conference.
More recognition, like All-Star teams and stuff like that.
Right. Is Conley really an All-Star? Will he ever really be an All-Star?
He has a higher chance of being one in the Eastern Conference.
It's true. I don't and I guess you have a better chance of going, and even if not winning the entire thing, going deeper into the playoffs. So I guess he wanted that, but just I don't know if he wanted to leave or if he didn't want to leave. But he kind of screwed himself over, I feel like, by having his agent, which by his agent it's his words of his agent just saying it, kind of limiting his options of where he wanted to go, where he could go.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of similar to AD almost, but. And and I know Memphis said they wanted to keep him because they want him to mentor. They have that 19-year-old rookie.
Memphis.
I'll try and find it. But as far as Conley not wanting to come to Utah,
the dude from Oregon, I think. Can't think of his name.
Who is it?
I feel like it's the guy from Oregon, the rookie that they got.
Is it Dylan Brooks?
Dylan Brooks. Yeah, is that who?
I think so. It's something along those lines. But Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, Jackson Jr. Sorry.
Yeah. So they wanted him to be a mentor for the guy until he's ready, and then they trade Conley, I think is the plan, which isn't necessarily a bad plan. But as far as Conley not wanting to come to Utah, there's a lot of players throughout the years, especially who say they don't want to come to Utah, and then they ended up getting traded to Utah anyway. and they end up loving it later or something like that. It's kind of similar to Jay Crowder. He was unsure when he got traded to Utah, and then he spent 2 weeks in Utah and instantly loved it. So some players are like that, and some players just care about the market, which is understandable. But and it's Jazz playing the hardest conference in the NBA possibly. So hardest easily hardest division, hardest conference. So
he just didn't want to go.
And
It's not right now.
Maybe. Do you want to start into the Jazz? Just because I'm okay with them not trading for Conley, just because I was skeptical on Conley the entire time. He would have been an improvement over Rubio, but I was afraid the Jazz were going to pay too much for him, and he might work out for the rest of this season, but who knows? Next season,
your starting five would have been a lot better. Not a lot better, but it would have been better.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, clearing off Favors.
He's a way better shooter than Rubio.
Probably would have been nice. Yeah, I think that's just what they need is just shooters. But I like Mitchell at the point guard. I feel like they want to eventually move him to the point guard. He plays better as the point guard anyway. Right now he's a 6'3" shooting guard, which I don't really get that for the Jazz. But the only guy I really wanted was Mirotic. Which that's such a good trade for the Bulls.
No, it was Bucks.
Bucks. My bad.
The Bucks picked up Mirotic.
Yeah, like it clears the floor for Giannis. It just stretches him out. Also, Portland was in on it. Like, it would have been good for any of those three teams. And I just really wish Utah would have picked him up. But it kind of sucks. Did you see his tweets yesterday though? He tweeted
Conley's?
No, Mirotic.
Oh yeah, something about like was it a puzzle piece?
Yeah, he tweeted an emoji of a puzzle piece, which is the final piece, and then he said a couple minutes later he said it's just an emoji, and then he said let's get ready to play Pelicans. Like that's literally he literally went okay, I'm about to be traded, so I'm gonna tweet out this cryptic tweet and let everybody lose their minds, and then he goes wait a minute, I won't be traded until tomorrow. I'm still part of this team. I gotta all of a sudden reel all this back and go just an emoji. Let's get ready to play. And then he doesn't even play. He didn't play last night for the Pelicans.
What's funny is another team did that. The Raptors, right after they traded away Valanciunas or Valanciunas, or how you say his name? They tweeted out a picture of him and said he's back tonight because he's coming back from injury. Uh-huh. Literally right after he got traded, and people are like, wow, that's really bad timing, whoever's running that Twitter.
It's funny because I feel like the people who run the team's Twitter are in as much as the know as we are as fans.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah,
because the Pelicans Twitter guy was like, I don't know what's going on, so you're just tweeting random stuff, just like.
And they probably like a tweet like that, like with the Valanciunas thing, is probably like just set to release at that time, like before the game. Yeah. Like he tweeted that this morning.
He had the tweet ready. Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of looks bad on.
Well, we want to get into some big blockbuster trades with the Lakers.
Michael Beasley's gone.
It
fixes everything.
They also got Reggie Bullock from the Pistons. You know who that guy is?
I recognize the name.
No one knows who that guy is. They got Muscala from the Clippers.
Yeah, what an improvement on Zubac. Crazy.
Basically, you got to get rid of Beasley because he did try to beat up Luke Walton the other night.
And the entire team's trying to beat up Luke Walton.
It was three guys.
And they tried to trade the entire team.
It was JaVale, it was Beasley, and then I don't know there was a third guy. I don't know who it was, but you know Beasley was the one that was heading that whole thing. Yeah, Beasley was in the back. He took a couple drugs. He popped a couple pills, and he was like, "I'm going in."
You're assuming the man's high when he did it.
He looks high all the time.
He doesn't need to be high to beat up Luke Walton. Walton looks like the most punchable coach in the NBA.
Basically, the Lakers are just a mess right now. They didn't get Anthony Davis, which good for the Pelicans. Honestly.
So good for the Pelicans because they didn't get bullied around.
They would have looked
mad respect for the Pelicans for saying, you know what, you guys have been trying to tamper with us this entire week. We're going to be complete a-holes to you, and we're going to make you work for this.
Because it was a tag team. Because Anthony Davis' agent is the one that like came out and said he wants to be gone, and that's LeBron's agent too. So it was
Yep.
like it was a whole thing where like, well, we're gonna get this done.
Yeah.
And the Pelicans were like, no, you're not.
Well, okay, like, and I have mad respect for them for making them work for it, but eventually, and we saw the earlier reports on what the Lakers are trying to give up, and that's simply not good enough. And props on the Pelicans for not just taking that, but it came to the point where the Lakers were literally giving up everything. It was four picks and
All the guys.
all their guys,
their
all their
dudes.
point guards. Which what are you gonna do with? I guess LeBron runs the point. I don't.
Cool. That's what they want.
Without sitting the bench, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Does Muscala start over JaVale McGee, by the way?
No way. No, he won't.
Gosh, the team just looks bad. But like, eventually you get that trade offer to you. Like, you got what you wanted. You pushed them to the brink of giving up everything. Why don't you just take that? Because now, I know they're looking at Boston this summer for wanting to
that's what
trade
I'm saying.
Davis. But you keep Davis for the rest of the year.
Okay. This is my thoughts on it. One, I think they're gonna just send Davis home. Just be like, dude, don't even play this year. You're good. Because
Davis has to be a mess right now. Like, you can't play basketball
take the
for
year
the rest
off.
of the year.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Maybe they'll play him, maybe not. That's irrelevant. The fact is, I think the Pelicans did what's right. They weren't going to trade him yet. The Lakers threw everything at them, and I saw at one point they requested for 6 picks, and they're like, hey, if you're going to give us 6 picks, we'll give them up right now. But the thing is, he's not a free agent this summer. They have him another year, and if you wait until July, like until the summer, and let's say the Lakers keep going down this rabbit hole of being terrible. At the end of the during the offseason, LeBron's going to go up to Magic Johnson. He's going to tell him, hey, I need Anthony Davis on my team. I'm not going to go another year with these scrubs.
That's a bad move for the Lakers.
But they're going to put the same deal out there. He's like, and the Pelicans are thinking, hey, that deal you offered us, we're going to get that in the summer from you. And we're also going to be able to hear what Boston wants to give us. And potentially the Knicks. I hope the Knicks, I don't know, maybe the Knicks will be dumb and give up, they get the number 1 pick. They get the Zion pick, and they're like, yeah, we'll get rid of that for Anthony Davis. So your options become more once the season's over. Plus, you still have the Lakers deal because the Lakers are going to offer them something again at the end of the season.
I mean, there's no guarantee though that Boston gives them more than what the Lakers just offered.
But I mean, it expands your
Knicks.
horizons.
I guess
There was no pressure to get rid of him right now, and like you said, it makes the Pelicans look really dumb if they got rid of him right now. It's you just got bullied into getting rid of your best player.
What do you do now?
Your best
he's still
asset.
a part of the team. He's still part of that locker room.
That's why I say sit him. They'll just send him home, or just have him fake an injury. I don't know. You're quiet. You're Lakers.
That's hockey stuff.
You're Lakers, bro.
In hockey, they make you fake injuries.
Go over to Europe and get a second opinion. We don't want to see you for the rest of the year.
He's an American player. Where is he gonna go? It's not like one of those guys where you just just stay in Spain.
Go eat dinner with LeBron. Have fun with him because we still have to trade you to him.
My God.
I think the Pelicans. I'm proud of them.
I mean, honestly, they fought,
I think
they fought hard.
Lakers really needed him. Because let's talk about where the Lakers are at right now. So that Pacers game, they got blown out by 42. It's the biggest loss out of LeBron's entire career.
Uh-huh.
At one point during the game, you have none of the guys are sitting next to LeBron. LeBron's not sitting at the end of the bench,
which is a bad look for probably LeBron.
For all, for LeBron, but for all of them as well. And then Rondo is sitting really far away from them as well. So there was a huge divide, and it's wow.
LeBron could have scooted in closer though. He was at the end of the bench. It's not like the guys. Moved to the end of the bench.
He got mad because they quit on him. Because I watched some of the game, and literally, if the Pacers pulled up for a 3-pointer, they were guys were just basically standing on the baseline, letting them shoot threes. That's why they got blown out. Because they were mad at LeBron.
I would too if my captain at the beginning of the year was saying, "Hey, if you're down, stay down.
I thought the same
I'm gonna
thing.
come and pick you up." And now all of a sudden he's wanting to trade
you guys. Yeah, I know. Well, and then,
I'd quit on him too.
Well, this morning before the trade deadline, what's his name? LeBron releases this quote.
What's
There's nothing.
Name? LeBron.
LeBron. What's his name?
You're so-called LeBron.
Says, there's nothing I need to get in this league that I don't already have. Everything else for me is just like icing on the cake. There's nothing I'm chasing.
Oh,
Damage
what a PR
control.
move. What a PR move, man.
Basically telling his teammates, guys, I do love you.
No, he doesn't.
He's probably sending them in the group chat that video that you just referenced. Hey, when you guys are down, pick him up, okay?
Stay down. And I'll drive you to New Orleans myself. My gosh. Like, he's trying to do damage control now because he knows what he did.
Well, okay, you want to talk about how all of a sudden LeVar Ball comes out of nowhere and now he's on TV talking bad about the team?
Well, and he says he wants... he says he wants Lonzo in Phoenix and not New Orleans. What the hell is the difference between Phoenix and New Orleans?
You know what his reasoning was? He said it's because he thinks Phoenix will let him do his whole Ball brothers thing to create his dynasty with all three of them.
Yeah, because there's more space on the roster, right?
I just think he thinks he can push around Phoenix more than he can push around
Again,
Memphis.
like, it's with the Conley thing as well. What? It's not the agent's decision. If Memphis wants to trade him to Utah, well, get ready for Salt Lake.
Well, now it's more interesting because Lonzo stayed. They didn't trade him. So now LeVar is out here saying stuff like this morning on TV, Lonzo's better than LeBron. and all he's done...
Are you saying that Lonzo is better than LeVar?
Yes.
Yes. He dug him down the worst rabbit hole. He sent him there because he knows
Shannon Sharp outsmarted
been saying all this stuff. If he asks him this one question, now he's in such a hole that he can't all of a sudden say, well, I'm not saying Lonzo's... He can't say that now. Now he has to say, yeah, he's better than LeBron.
Yeah, because LeVar said, he's like, Lonzo's the best player on that team. And Shannon, who loves LeBron, the biggest LeBron lover on TV, was like, are you serious? He's the best player on that team? Are you serious? He's like, you know who's on that team, right?
And LeVar's like,
oh,
I have to say this now.
I feel like LeVar forgot LeBron was on the team. I think he forgot because he's been injured so long or something. I don't know. He's just like,
LeVar's not watching the games.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know
what his son does.
Well, they called him out too. They were like, well, why are we hearing from you now? He's like, I was in Europe. I don't have time. I don't have time to talk to the press.
I don't have time in Europe? What are you doing?
Yeah, and then Shannon Sharp
Where
goes.
Is he, Liechtenstein?
Yeah, Shannon goes, well, like Belgium got microphones over there like they do here.
We'll interview you some more. These are great sound bites. My God.
Yeah, but okay.
Feels so bad for Alonzo, man.
I think the Lakers, their next move has to be firing Luke Walton now. His players try to beat him up. In the
middle of the season, though, they're in such a mess now.
They try to beat him up. LeVar has talked nothing. He said that Lonzo's been bad because Luke has given him a losing mentality. He's like, Luke has done nothing but lose in this league, and he's put it on my son.
I said that he's won a championship as a player with the Lakers. Okay, first off, stop blaming... I hate this with players. Stop blaming the coach when you're a player that plays with LeBron and you're still losing. At some point, it's your fault.
Well, the thing was, they were on track to win 48 games before LeBron got injured.
Yeah.
And now, since LeBron,
it's your
dropped,
fault for sitting there and, at some point, you're not making shots. It's less a problem of the system and more of a problem of you just got to make some buckets. You got to play some defense. Play with pride yourself. Stop blaming the coach. Stop blaming other people.
Honestly.
It's your fault.
It's really true.
You play with the best player in the world. You can't tell me you can't at least make it close against the Pacers. Indiana, they're going to blow you out like that.
Did you say
it's partly on LeBron. I get it. He quit on you. Or, he sort of quit on you, so you quit on him.
Well, the team they need to stop quitting on each other now because they're stuck with each other for the rest of the year. So figure it out, guys.
Figure it out.
Good luck.
Your teammates
that
for the rest
should be
of this
fun
year.
for the next 2 years to watch them. But one last thing on this topic, I thought to last year how at the trade deadline, the Cavaliers looked like a mess with LeBron. I remember they were getting blown out and everything. And
they traded everybody.
Yeah, but that's what LeBron did at the trade deadline. He's like, we've been terrible, so I'm just going to trade away my entire team. This time it didn't happen. Maybe
it didn't work.
Maybe he thought
So do the Lakers make the playoffs now? Do they even make the playoffs?
Maybe. LeBron has to come back.
Was the problem against the Pacers just flat? We're gonna make a statement game. We're not gonna play well because we hate Luke and we hate LeBron.
That's literally what happened. I watched it. I watched the first half.
Or is it just they're not good enough?
No, they didn't try. Literally, they didn't try.
So you think if they try, they start
in the beginning of the game, LeBron was trying. He had no idea that they had this plan going on. That's why he was mad at them and sat that far away from them on the bench. They literally planned together. Literally, if one of the dudes on the Pacers took a 3-pointer, they were standing at the free throw line, letting it with their hands down, letting them take the 3-pointer. The Pacers broke their franchise record for the most 3-pointers ever made in a game for the Pacers.
How great is that as a Pacer, man? Just like your team chemistry is going fine, you don't care. Yeah, destroy him. Like,
I've never seen that before. I've never seen a whole team get together and sabotage LeBron.
It's so
Or sabotage
dysfunctional. And LeBron is supposed to be the best leader in the NBA. And what the hell's going on with his team?
That's what I'm saying. That's why he needs to hop in the group chat and text him the thing. When your brother's down, you pick him up.
Well, but he seems so double-faced now. He seems so two-faced.
Well, I think this whole thing...
Because now it's like, don't quit on me. Well,
people are seeing through the facade as well. Like, you didn't come to LA to really win. You came to LA to make TV shows.
Because you saw market, but you also saw cap space, and you saw Klay Thompson's expiring soon, Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he doesn't care for these guys on team. He cares for those names you just said.
Yeah,
like Anthony Davis and the Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson.
One, like I feel like if you were, I don't know. I guess if you're Kuzma, if you're Lonzo, I guess you probably should see that coming. But I'm sure when LeBron got in there into that locker room, he said, "You know what? I'm committed to you guys. I can't wait to play with." Because he said that in interviews. Yeah. He was like, "I can't wait to play with the young guys." No, you're not. No.
How do you go from
these young guys are bad anyway, except for maybe Kuzma. Yeah, Lonzo's been fine at points. Like
Lonzo could be a decent player.
They've been bad.
Yeah, I mean it's
entire
they
team.
They need to figure it out. And honestly, they're probably all going to be gone at the end of the year. They're going to be traded away or whatever at the end of the year. Maybe the
Davis doesn't want to go to Celtics. That's exactly where New Orleans wants to send him.
It's just that the Lakers are going to if they make the playoffs, maybe they're an 8 seed. I don't see them moving up that high, and they're going to choke this year. They're not.
Well, they got to play Warriors first round.
And you think LeBron is going to go next season's his 17th season in the league? He's going to go into his 17th year with the same garbage roster he just finished the year with right now. No, he's going to get desperate, and he's going to go to the front office and say, "Give me Anthony Davis, no matter what it takes."
It's like as a Lakers fan. As a Lakers fan, I guess you're like, well, we just want stars, but. Like, he's ruining your future because after this 3-year contract, what does LeBron do? Does he retire? And then where does that leave the Lakers? He goes somewhere else.
Exactly, yeah.
Maybe he goes to the Knicks. Who knows?
That's the issue with when you sign LeBron. You have to be win now. LeBron's not going to go to a team he can't win now.
Well, because look at Cleveland now. They're ruined for the next...
That's what he does.
3-4 years.
He ruins teams.
Miami's been ruined for a while.
Yeah. Well, them too was partially because Chris Bosh got the blood clots.
Right, but
because when LeBron left, they still had D Wade and Bosh. He could have been somewhat competitive.
Hassan Whiteside hasn't really turned out to what he could have been.
Yeah, that was a bad contract. He's not a modern day player.
But at what point does come back on LeBron as his fault? Like you get a ring with him, great, but now you're ruined for the next 10 years as a franchise.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Next topic. The Bucks. No, we already talked about the Bucks, sort of. The Wizards. Wizards traded Porter to the Bulls for Mr. Why am I blanking?
Jabari Parker.
Jabari Parker and Bobby Portis.
Right, which Bobby Portis is a good player, but educate me because I didn't understand this because Jabari Parker's on a bad contract, right?
Correct.
Like it's a really bad contract, and the Wizards are rebuilding.
Yeah, my understanding is of this. The Wizards did this trade because he is guaranteed money for the next 2 years, like 20-something million for the next 2 years, and I think Jabari was a 1-year deal. So they're thinking because they have what's his name on payroll, the John Wall, for the next couple of years, like for 4 years, they're paying him a lot of money, and he's not even gonna play this year, and he's gonna be all out next season because he slipped and fell in his house.
Yeah,
or something. Yeah, that's fine. And so they're trying to just free up space. So they're able to actually get players in because John Wall's a waste of a roster spot now because he's not going to be playing.
Why didn't they trade Beal? Weren't they wanting to get rid of Beal?
Yeah, people probably want Beal, but I don't know. I think Beal's a free agent this year, I think.
Is he?
Yeah, people are probably thinking.
Yeah, and it's really hard to re-sign NBA players. But it's just weird because it's between two rebuilding teams because the Bulls have been rebuilding for a while now. Like, I guess
Porter's is a pretty good pickup for them.
Yeah, Porter's a young player, but why do you give up Portis? And also you were going to get rid of Jabari anyway.
I just think every single person on the Bulls is pretty much expendable, other than the Lauri Markkanen.
I guess I'm not. Yeah.
Or Wendell Carter. I just think because that's the thing. People are saying this was a bad trade for the Wizards because the Wizards should have gotten more for Porter for how much he cost. Like
Yeah.
he's a lot of money.
They were
so
talking first-round pick in Utah for him.
Exactly, and that's why they're saying that this was dumb on the Wizards' sake. Like, it was smart to get rid of him, but what they got in return was not good for them.
I don't get it for the that's what I was talking about for the I guess for the Bulls it's
The Bulls got him for a steal. That's why. That's essentially why.
Yeah.
That's why they got him.
Well, did they have to send picks?
I think it was one
Two
second rounder.
rounds? 1 second rounder?
I think it was only 1 second rounder.
Either way, I guess I mean you don't. And he still has room to grow. He's 25 years old, so.
Yeah, it was just a 2023 second round pick. And literally, everyone's just saying the Wizards are.
And you would assume the Bulls would be at least better by 2023.
Probably.
They'd probably be by that time. They'd be contending for a playoff spot. You would think, if the rebuild goes as planned.
Yeah, if it goes as planned. We'll see.
They need another big draft pick in there, but
good for the Bulls though, doing something good because they haven't done anything good as a recent.
Yeah, they've been patient. I feel like a lot of their trades have just been like they got Carmelo and then waived him.
Yeah.
So it's just been a lot of just different. They've just been tinkering, and I think it looks to be like there's a plan there. Like I feel like every trade has a deliberate meaning behind it. Like there's a lot of thought. So I don't mind it.
Yeah, good for the Bulls. The next thing we want to talk about is Harrison Barnes getting traded during the fourth quarter. He's sitting on the bench, and the commentators come on. Harrison Barnes was just traded.
So what? So he has to go to the locker room? What did he have to do? Or he just has to sit on the bench?
Well, he doesn't even know he got traded. He's sitting on the bench. I don't think no one on the court knows he got traded. Obviously.
Yeah,
the coach doesn't know at the time
if
either.
It goes through, he can't play the rest of the game?
Yeah, I mean, he was already on the bench with I think it was a couple minutes left of the fourth, so maybe he was just planning. It was a close game though, so maybe just sat the rest of the game. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's weird because I know in hockey, players get traded during games all the time, but they wait to let anybody know. Like the GMs will wait until after both teams have played their games, for the trade to be announced. Like Max Pacioretty was traded during a preseason game, and they waited until it was almost midnight on the East Coast by the time they announced the trade because they were waiting for Vegas's game to be done before they announced the trade. So
yeah,
it's just weird. Why wouldn't you just keep it to yourself?
The deal because the Mavericks. Well, no, the Kings hopped on the phone with the Mavericks and said the deal is happening now or never. And we're playing the game, though.
In hockey, they agree to a trade in principle at the beginning of the second period, and they're like, "Okay, we're playing, you're playing. Let's just keep this on the down low."
It's just this is what NBA trade deadlines become, though. It's just
part of it is I think it's just Woj just being like, "I know everything."
And it's that's a huge part.
It was a private call between two GMs, and I hopped on the line without them knowing.
I tapped the line with the help of the FBI.
How does he do that? It's so weird.
And that actually probably has a lot to do with it because they're like, well, we can't wait another 10 minutes because Woj is going to tweet it out in the next 2 minutes.
I guess.
So we might as well just announce it now.
It's worse if you find out from Woj than if you find out from the actual team.
Yeah, I'm sure they want to be the ones. They want to be in control of this.
Yeah. So I mean.
But the Mavericks got Zach Randolph and Justin Jackson in return, which is good for them because.
Well, okay, hold on. I need to figure this out. So Justin Jackson. And
Zach Randolph
go to the Mavs.
Yeah,
and Harrison Barnes is traded from the Mavs.
Yeah, okay, Kings got Harrison Barnes.
What are Kings doing? Because they got Alec Burks and they got.
They required Alec Burks, Harrison Barnes.
Are they trying to win? This year? Those are.
I think they're one of those
two players with at least a little.
The Kings
bit
are one of those
ceiling.
teams battling for the 8th seed right now. They're actually in contention to make playoffs.
Yeah, I guess they're.
They also got rid of
because Justin Jackson has a high ceiling. That's great for the Mavs, and I mean the Kings have been looking to get rid of Zach Randolph for a while now.
And I think the Mavs need him because the Mavs got rid of who did they get rid? They got rid of a big man, DeAndre Jordan, and a couple of different guys, Wesley Matthews.
Yeah.
And they got in return they got Porzingis, but Porzingis isn't playing right now, so they need someone to kind of fill that void. For right now.
So with the Knicks releasing Enes Kanter, that means they're keeping DeAndre Jordan then?
That's my guess because we released Wesley Matthews as well, or they're buying him out as well. So I'm guessing we're keeping DeAndre Jordan.
Are they still? Is there a cap floor in NBA? I don't think there is like a minimum cap.
Is there? Probably not.
In hockey, there is. So you have to take on some bad contracts if you're a bad team. So
Yeah, because we don't have a single bad contract on our team right now.
Yeah, I guess
Every single player we have is on a rookie deal other than DeAndre.
Must be good for the Knicks. Like, you have so much franchise money, you can just be like, I'll just buy out the rest of this contract right now.
Yeah, because that came out how we're the richest franchise
Yeah.
in the NBA for 4 years in a row.
Forbes.
And I
Way
saw
to go, Spike Lee.
I saw everyone on Twitter like, how are they doing this? And I go, imagine if we were winning, how rich we would be. Oh my God!
You want to guess who the richest franchise in the NHL is right now? The New York Rangers.
It's just New York.
They play in MSG, and they're historic.
Yeah,
and
historic thing.
That's
yeah.
all. I mean, you like the Knicks because why? I mean, you grew up in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot of people like
Big
that.
market.
Yeah, there's a reason there.
I'm sure if you go to the East Coast, there's tons of Knicks fans compared to out here. Like, because I was trying to make this
North. Yeah.
I was trying to make this argument with Jackie yesterday because she's like, man, I don't know anyone that likes Knicks. And I was like, well, I think because like the Lakers were number 2 and the Knicks were 1. I feel like the East Coast Knicks dominate, and over here the Lakers dominate.
Yeah, a little bit more. Lakers.
Pretty much, yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, out here, like there's tons of Lakers fans. So I was telling her, and
Yeah.
she was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I've never been to the East Coast, so I'm just taking your word for it.
We need to go to the East Coast.
Yeah.
We definitely need to go to the East Coast. I used to live in Virginia, so I'm very familiar.
This is off topic before we get to the next thing real quick, but Duke and Virginia is playing again Saturday.
Yeah.
Exciting. I get to see Zion.
Yeah, Zion puts up another 37. Virginia might be in trouble. I mean, they only lost by
Like it was only a couple points.
It
was a really close game.
2 points.
Yeah.
1 point.
I think it was 2.
So 2 points. Yeah.
It was a score game.
If one of those threes had dropped, they had won. So I mean, Virginia's been playing really well. So
Yeah, I think Duke's number 2 and Virginia's 3 right now.
Virginia's 3.
So that's
and they had
good matchup.
Virginia's been winning pretty good. Although they had a scare against NC State. They kind of fell asleep against NC State, and hey, they pulled it out though. Good teams win even when they're playing bad.
Exactly. I guess we could talk about how the number 1 pick from a year ago got traded right before the deadline.
Yeah, so
is that weird?
Markelle Fultz.
That feels weird.
The Magic. It's funny because the Magic GM. Well, because like the 76ers were looking to get rid of him for a while.
Yeah.
And like they get more draft. Like they give up draft picks in this trading deadline, and then they get more. So like it works out for the.
They need a draft picks because they've been traded. So they traded away 4 to get Tobias Harris, and then they did some weird trade with Malachi Richardson, like a smaller one where they picked up they got another pick, and then this one, we're trading Markelle Fultz. They picked up 2 extra picks, so they kind of got their picks back by trading these guys.
It must be nice having that much embarrassment of riches and just being like, we'll just get all of this back and trade all of this away so it becomes even, essentially. Our team still becomes better out of it.
It's just really weird to me how a number 1 pick... It's because it's the 76ers.
He was a bust.
Well, it was the Sixers, though. Like, if you look at it, he's only played a season and a half, and he's maybe played like 20 games.
Yeah.
They waited on Embiid for how long to figure his life out? He didn't play like his first 3 years, it felt like.
Yeah, well...
And then they also waited on Simmons, who didn't play his first season.
Because wasn't it...
I don't know why they didn't wait a little bit longer.
Has a funky jump shot, but weren't they saying like he has a
shoulder injury. That's why his
reason
shot's all weird.
So...
I don't know. Maybe I feel like they would, out of all franchises, they would have the most patience with the player.
Magic have so much patience at this point. They that's the only thing they have is patience.
I know, but but all we've seen from the Sixers that they are very patient. Like they were.
Yeah,
with
but
Simmons and
like at this
Embiid's
point
the
they're
biggest.
win now, and especially when you give up 4 picks for
Yeah,
like
you're not wrong.
you want to get picks back as soon as you can.
And they also got Jonathan Simmons out of it. Which
he's a good player.
Yeah, good for the bench because people are now like when everyone's like, oh, look at that big 4. Twitter's like, oh, you don't want to look at that bench though, and they're not wrong. The bench is probably a little lackluster. So
Yeah.
Jonathan Simmons should help that out.
Hopefully, yeah. And like the Magic GM came out and he said, it's a low risk, high reward sort of trade. I'd say more probably high risk, high reward, just because I don't.
Well, and then if you're the
Fultz,
Magic and you're just really promoting it towards your fan base, you're just saying we got the number 1 pick from last year. Look at us.
Hope. At this point, that's all Orlando fans need. At this point, is just hope for the future.
And I know we talk about this all the time, but it's really funny how this season the number 1 pick from last year and the number 2 pick from last year were both like in trade discussions. because you're able to get rid of them like that. It doesn't really matter. And it's just weird how that draft was so good, but the first 2 picks weren't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was so many gems in that draft further down.
Yeah, because Kuzma was in that draft, right? With
Kuzma was 19.
Lonzo?
Mitchell was in that draft. Went lower. Dennis Smith Jr. was lower. Was good.
Could you imagine
Tatum
if the
was
Lakers
right.
had
Jason
Donovan
Tatum.
Mitchell and Kuzma right now to go along with LeBron?
Ooh.
Holy cow.
They could have done it.
But nope, LeVar
Or even
spoke it into existence. Now the Lakers are screwed.
Or even Jason Tatum. Because he went 3.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Like, there were so many players in that draft. They blew it. The first 2 picks blew it.
Hey, isn't that funny though? I was thinking about this with the Lakers, how the earlier they draft, the more chance of it is for a bust for the Lakers. Because, who's the point guard? Russell, yeah, D'Angelo Russell was the first overall pick. And
no, he was 2 as well.
He was 2.
One was Karl Anthony Towns that year. It was the Porzingis draft. That's why I know.
Anyway, it's still he's a high draft pick and he ends up being a bust. But who's all there? Because Larry Nance Jr. was late, right?
Yeah, he ended up overachieving. Kuzma overachieved.
Zubac is late.
Yeah,
and all these guys overachieved. So it's just weird for the Lakers.
I know we've already talked about the Lakers, but I want to go back to one last thing about them. So they traded. So LeVar Ball obviously says I want my kid to be traded or whatever. Like, it didn't end up happening, but there's a lot to talk about him being traded. And people were saying, like analysts and things like that, were saying, yeah, maybe he would play better on a different team.
Maybe.
Because people are questioning the Lakers' ability to develop these draft picks.
Yeah.
Because you look at D'Angelo Russell, they got rid of him because they're like, yeah, he wasn't good, and now he's an all-star. He's only on the all-star team this year with the Nets for the Eastern Conference, and he was a bust. He was labeled a bust with the Lakers, and he was a 2 pick. And then you have Brandon Ingram, who literally has not improved very little. He's improved very little since he's been drafted. Who was also the number 2 pick since being drafted. And then you look at Lonzo, who's, I know it's only second season, but if he's going the way he's going, he's not going to be anything.
Not second pick worthy.
Exactly. They for whatever reason, they were just trying to get at the Lakers struggle with.
Well, why isn't the best player in the world teaching these guys anything?
He doesn't care.
Why though? You're stuck with these guys. Teach them something.
And that was another thing that was interesting because I was reading an article talking about how LeBron used to be all in. Like those Cavaliers teams back in the day, like he would carry them to the finals and get swept, and how bad they were, and he would, but he was all in on them. And then when he went to the Heat, he was all in. Like he's like Mario Chalmers was his point guard, and he was all in. He was like, yeah, we're gonna win with this guy. And then it wasn't until he went back to Cleveland where he's like, yeah, trade away my entire team. I don't like these guys. And now here he wanted to do the same exact thing, trade away all my team.
Well, isn't it funny because
he just doesn't care anymore.
That's the thing, because he goes. And the Heat, he's almost in tears after he gets swept. With the Cavs, that when he gets swept, he's in tears.
Yeah.
When he's with the Heat, they lose that in the first year to the Mavericks, and he throws his jersey after the game. He takes off his jersey. He cares at that point. And it's funny because that interview comes out, I think yesterday, today, something like that, where he said he doesn't have anything else to achieve. Everything he wanted to achieve in his career, he's already achieved.
Yeah, no, he said that earlier,
which is basically just saying I don't care anymore.
Because in his head, he's the GOAT, and it's cool.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, no, but he believes he's already caught Jordan. But
if you compare him to a guy who just won 6 championships in Tom Brady. Yeah, everyone calls him the GOAT. He probably knows he is, but you know what? He still works extremely hard.
He still really wants to win. Yeah.
What was crazy to me, I was reading an article after the Super Bowl saying that he went up to random guys in the locker room with the trophy, and he was like, "You need to hold this." Like he has a relationship with every single guy on the team.
What's the thing? There's so much roster turnover in the NFL. It's kind of cool, even if it's your 6th time winning it. For some of these guys in the locker room, it's their first time.
Yeah, and Tom Brady, he cares about the whole team aspect of the game and he tries. You don't see Tom Brady doing a movie. You don't see Tom Brady having 4,000 TV shows. You know what I'm saying?
Which I'm not blaming LeBron for that. I'm not saying he's getting distracted. I'm not saying that he doesn't want to win. I'm just saying
oh, that's what I'm saying. I'll come out and say it. I think LeBron.
LeBron
cares about winning because he needs to still win in order to be the GOAT. But I think he went to LA because he wants TV shows.
Is it all legacy thing?
Yeah, because
you don't think? Yeah.
If he's able to get a championship with the Lakers, again, like a historic franchise, and it'd be his fourth one or whatever, then yeah, I think he has an argument saying like, hey, I won a championship with 3 different teams, which is kind of cool.
I almost wonder if that's the last time he cared, because after he won like his 3rd championship, all he really said is, I just want to bring one back to Cleveland. That's all he said.
Well, no, his 3rd one was Cleveland. And yeah, he cared one. Yeah, that Cleveland one, he cared so much in that Cleveland one.
Yeah, he said.
But after that, he didn't care.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Yeah, after that, he doesn't care.
After that, like,
I don't think he cares. He'd rather trade away his entire team than make it work. Man. He literally would rather trade away his entire team than make it work with the guys.
Bring one to LA?
I think he has to, because let's say, okay, if it's shaping up the way it is right now, then the next couple of years is just like 8 seeds and being knocked out in the first couple of rounds. He's not the GOAT.
Because he believes he's the GOAT no matter what happens.
But if that's how his career ends, he's not the GOAT.
What happened?
You gotta admit that.
Like a year and a half ago, he said, "Yeah, I'm chasing. I'm trying to get out of Jordan's shadow or something."
Yeah, like that. He says, "I'm chasing that ghost in Chicago."
I'm chasing that ghost, and now he's not chasing the ghost anymore.
Yeah, and then this offseason, he's like, "I'm the GOAT." It's like you just got swept in the finals. Now you're saying you're the GOAT? Really, dude? Really?
I don't know.
LeBron. LeBron's confusing.
Honestly.
Oh, okay. This will be our last thing we talk about because we're running out of time.
Okay.
Kevin Durant, because I really want to get this in. So yesterday he said to the press he was really mad. It's like, let me paint the picture. He didn't talk to the press for 9 days straight. It was right after the Porzingis trade. He stopped talking to the press. So last night was his first time talking to the press since the Porzingis trade, and of course, all the questions are about the trade and him going to the Knicks because there's a lot of reports about that. And he's all like, I'm just here to play basketball. You guys just can shut up. Like, stop asking me questions. Ask me questions about basketball. And it's like, is it fair for him to do that? I feel like it comes off really baby-like, honestly.
Well, like, I get why he wants to be asked just about basketball. Like, if I was a player,
all players.
If I was a player,
like
you know, you don't want to talk about stuff coming up in the off season, but like, it's still he's going. I read what you wrote about me, and I don't appreciate it.
I read it on my burner account, and I don't like it.
I don't really like it when you say negative things about me. Well,
he's just so.
You're in the public spotlight.
He's such thin skin.
You're an NBA superstar, and yeah, these Oakland reporters have a right. Like, it's not like they're talking about the Raiders. They have nothing to report on the Raiders. They have nothing to report on the A's. They're gonna report on you. It's basketball season.
Yeah, any reporter has should ask that question because that's the good question to ask.
And everybody wants to know.
Because it was right after the game. You blew out the Spurs by 30 points. No one wants to talk about that. You're definitely the best team in the NBA. You're definitely going to win the finals. Well, who cares about this season? I want to know where you're going next year. And my thing is, why can't you just pull a Kyrie Irving and just say, I don't know, I'll talk about that July 1st? Why can't you give that type of answer? Why do you got to give this whole spiel about, guys?
Because it puts more media attention on him. And I feel like that's what he secretly inside wants. It's just more media attention.
Well, my thing is, it was... Okay, after the Porzingis trade, you don't want anyone to talk about this whole you going to the Knicks thing. Why didn't you talk to the press for 9 days? After the Porzingis trade, you're like, yeah, I don't want to talk to the press now. Because you know you're going to the Knicks.
Yeah, like, and I get it's frustrating when people are going like, you know... he was the driving force behind the Porzingis trade. He was in Dallas's ear, New York's ear, whoever's ear, and like that. Maybe that's unfair to go out and report, but like you gotta. It looks more suspicious.
It's
like
more
you said,
suspicious if you don't.
It's more media attention on it. If you want less media attention, just say what Kyrie's saying.
You address it instantly. Hey, I'm not talking about this until July 1st. Right after the trade, that's what they're asking you questions. And then after a week, Anthony Davis takes over, or something else will take over.
Yeah,
like the NBA media is something else is taking over every day.
I see the reports. I don't agree with them, or I'm not responding to them. That's all you have to say. And then it's not a Bleacher Report notification. Then we're not talking about it on today's podcast.
Well, and the way he went about
who cares about Durant right now? Nobody cares about Durant right now. I didn't care about Durant right now until I saw that notification. I'm like, oh, better care about Durant now. All of a sudden, I forgot about Durant.
People forget about the Warriors.
For a little bit, yeah.
Because they're not in the part of these trade talks because they already got the team.
Well, you had a great point, too. He's such a sensitive player. If you think Oakland medium is bad, go to New York, man.
I know.
You want
I want him in New York.
rumors?
But
Rumors are gonna pick up in New York.
But as soon as you play one bad game, they're not the Golden State fans. New York is gonna kill you if you play a bad game.
Well, because New York is sick of failure. Like I don't
We're
know.
tough to play for.
The Warriors fans, you lose a game and they're like, oh, well, at least we still have however many rings. I don't know what they're at this point.
Yeah. They're more likely to look on the bright side of things than the Knicks are, than the New York fans are.
And I mean, especially if he goes to New York, they're gonna say, oh, this is the guy we give up Porzingis for, which is an unfair thing to say.
Yeah, and New York media is just way more intense than anything Oakland's.
Yeah, because they have to sell more. Like, they have more people to sell to.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
So, yeah, it just, man, I feel, he says he doesn't want the attention, but then sometimes you're like...
He definitely does.
Oh, you want the attention,
because
that's all you're doing.
The report came out before he did this whole thing where he thought beating LeBron James in the finals in 2017, that people were going to say he was the best player in the world, not LeBron. And that didn't happen, and that frustrated him. So he thought beating LeBron, people were going to say he was the best player in the world. And that didn't happen.
Yeah,
That it didn't change people's minds. People still...
Why can't you just be a great player? Why do you have to be the greatest of all? Like, I get driving yourself to be, the greatest of all time, whatever, but who cares? Just because
he always has... He's always
great.
He feels like he's always had this chip on his shoulder where he's always been second. He's like...
Which, and I feel if people were to come out today and say... the consensus is Durant is the best player to ever play the game of basketball. He's going to find something else to be mad about. Because he, like you said, every time he goes to the gym, he puts, that into his mind, whatever the chip he has on his shoulder currently, he puts that into his mind, and he works hard, and he plays a great game.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's a fine way to do it. But, like, it just feels like whatever chip he has on his shoulder, whatever chip he's, like, working towards, he takes that out on the media. And it seems pointless. Like, just keep that internally. Keep that drive internally. It doesn't mean you have to, just... Like, if you're mad about something somebody said in the media, if he's listening to this...
Hop on your burner.
If he's listening to this podcast and he's mad about what we're saying, just internalize it, go to the gym, and beat the living crap out of the Jazz. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why... You don't have to tweet at us. You don't have to do anything like that. So, I don't get it.
And just going to finish it right here. But before we finish it, I will say, like you said, if Kevin Durant's listening, if you go to the Knicks and you win a championship with the Knicks, you will forever be the GOAT in my head. I love you, man. All right.
Hey, no, if you wanna tweet at the podcast, get us some clout that way, why not, man? Go ahead, say whatever you want about us, actually. Go ahead. Expose us, man. That would actually help a lot. Yeah. Wow, crazy.
Wow, crazy. Great NBA talk.
Impassioned rants today.
There was a lot of stuff to talk about.
I had a lot of caffeine, so I'm tingly right now. I'm going to go and work that all off at the gym.
And we're going to be back tomorrow, actually.
We're going to be back tomorrow with some more fun stuff.
Well, who knows what we'll be talking about.
Or maybe Kevin Durant's going to come out again.
Maybe we'll talk about the Oakland Raiders stadium situation.
If you're hearing this, tweet at Durant. Take a little snippet of our conversation, tweet at Durant. I just want to see what he says. Somebody please do that. That'd be hilarious.
An account at I love Kevin Durant 99.
Or one of his burners. That'd be even more funny.
That is his burner. He's gonna be like, "Wow, I hate you guys. Stop talking trash on me."
Not the snake, the goat. 25, 35, something like that.
Not snake, but goat. 35.
Not snake, but goat. Oh, we should get that Twitter account. That's hilarious. We should just start.
Become a famous Kevin Durant tweeter.
I'm gonna create a fake Kevin Durant Twitter account right now. Actually, that's hilarious. I want to start tweeting on Kevin Durant stuff with that
from his point of view.
With that username. That's funny.
All right, so we'll be back tomorrow.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
See ya.
Peace.